As the world's population nearing its peak, governments across the globe are sounding the alarm over record low birth rates. In 2024, South Korea declared a national demographic emergency as the country's birth rate hit historic lows. But other countries in Asia, such as Japan, face similar headwinds.
The decline of births is in a state of crisis. I believe we are at a time when we have to take urgent measures.
The urgency is real. However, in many places, the decades of reductionist and reactionary strategies have shown limited results, casting doubt on whether secular policies alone can truly turn the tide. Meanwhile, much of the West, particularly Europe, has moved away from pronatal solutions almost entirely, betting instead on migration to fill the gap. One country within the EU, however, is going against the current. In this video, the Axioma Center, together with our experts, explores the heart of contemporary Hungarian family life and policy by addressing three key questions: what family truly is, why governments should support families, and how they can do so effectively. Ideally, the family, and indeed the very beginning and foundation of society, is rooted in marriage.
Throughout history, marriage has served many purposes: to foster fertility, build economic stability, secure alliances, and preserve the social order. One goal has never changed: the begetting and raising of children.
According to the Roman jurist Modestinus, marriage is the union of a man and a woman, a lifelong partnership, a fellowship under divine and human law. Similarly, the Roman Catholic Church, building on the principles of natural law, defines marriage as the covenant by which a man and a woman establish between themselves a partnership of the whole life, ordered by its nature to the good of the spouses and the procreation and education of offspring. Christian teaching continues to uphold the special importance of the family founded on marriage, stating that family is the cradle of faith, prayer, virtue, education, solidarity, and love.
Ideally, Christian thought approaches questions concerning the family, such as the number of children or material well-being, in light of its ultimate, transcendent goal, salvation.
Centuries ago, Augustine described the goods of marriage, offspring, fidelity, and inseparability, ideas that still shape Western family law today. Later, Thomas Aquinas reaffirmed the sacramental nature of marriage, upholding Augustine's understanding while also emphasizing that marriage protects women and children and therefore serves the common good. From this flows a simple conclusion: if marriage and family safeguard both persons and society, then the state too has a duty to uphold and protect them. The stability of the family is not a matter of indifference to the state, nor is it irrelevant whether citizens live in marriage or cohabitation. The state has a duty to protect existing marriages and to create a legal environment that encourages citizens to marry and start families. Hungary provides a clear example of this approach.
One of Hungary's greatest achievements has been elevating the family, even internationally, back into public focus. The fundamental law of Hungary, adopted in 2011, affirms the family as the most important framework for human coexistence. It protects marriage and the family for their intrinsic worth and dignity, not merely for their social utility.
However, acknowledging their intrinsic value does not make their social or reproductive role irrelevant. Which is why the fundamental law of Hungary also affirms the state's commitment supporting childbearing, recognizing it as essential to survival and long-term sustainability of the nation.
Hungary's family policy is far from being perfect, but certain elements are close to Christian social teaching. These can serve as reference points for formulating a Christian integrative perspective, a coherent policy framework that remains Christian in principle but unites demographic, economic, cultural, and health dimensions in support of the family.
Hungary's demographic trends reflect challenges seen across much of the developed world: a shrinking and aging population, fewer women of childbearing age, and persistently low fertility. After reaching a historic low in 2011, Hungary's total fertility rate began to rise from 1.23 to 1.61 by 2021. marking one of the most significant improvements in Europe. Although the number of births increased only slightly, this turnaround lifted Hungary above the EU average. Government programs offering tax benefits, housing aid, and parental support helped inspire a marriage boom, encouraging couples to formalize relationships and start families. Divorce rates have steadily decreased since 2011, and marriages today last longer on average than they did a generation ago. Since 2010, the Orbán government has offered broad support to both individuals within the family and the family as a unit. Family housing loans and subsidized mortgages made home ownership more accessible, easing one of the greatest barriers to starting a family.
In Christian thought, work holds intrinsic value. Its purpose is not only economic, but also the support and flourishing of the family. Motherhood and fatherhood and the time spent raising children are likewise understood as meaningful work in themselves.
Hungary's system of maternity and parental leave, with family supports including child allowance, maternity, and parental benefits, is widely regarded as one of the most family-friendly in Europe.
In the past decade or so, the employment rate of mothers in Hungary rose steadily. While this reflects greater opportunity and economic inclusion, it also means many women now carry a double burden, managing both full-time work and family responsibilities.
Research suggests that financial incentives often influence when families have children rather than how many, sometimes encouraging postponed births or bringing decisions forward in time. Nearly 9 out of 10 Hungarians consider family life very important, and surveys show that those living in families are generally the most satisfied with their lives. Research confirms that stable, marriage-based families not only promote personal well-being, but also bring broad social benefits, strengthening health, social cohesion, and even national security. A consistent gap exists between the number of children people consider ideal, the number they wish to have, and the number they actually have. Still, 86% of young Hungarians say that having children is important to them, reflecting a strong pro-family mindset even amid modern pressures.
At the heart of family formation lies the ability to form stable, lasting relationships. Yet today, many face difficulties in finding a committed partner. This is driven by complex cultural shifts, from identity crises among men and changing expectations among women to the spread of digital dating, pornography, and the illusion of the perfect match.
These trends reflect not only a cultural change, but also a spiritual one. Without a renewed understanding of Christian relationship ethics, emphasizing purity, commitment, fidelity, and the mutual respect of men and women, even the best designed family policies will have limited effect. One of the most pressing health challenges facing young couples today is infertility. Globally, an estimated 1 in 6 couples experience infertility. In Hungary, the rate is similar, affecting about 15 to 20% of those who wish to have children. The issue is compounded by the fact that delayed childbearing is now a major driver of low fertility, and many women are unaware of the biological limits and relatively narrow fertility window within which pregnancy is realistically possible. In Hungary, the number of abortions has fallen by roughly half since 2010, one of the most significant reductions in Europe, though the overall rate still remains above the EU average. Hungarian law permits several assisted reproductive techniques but continues to prohibit surrogacy. Public support for IVF is high, around 90%, while attitudes towards surrogacy remain divided. For many Christians, however, IVF raises profound ethical concerns. The loss of embryos during the process contradicts the belief in the sanctity of life from conception, a principle that remains central to Christian teaching. Based on the Hungarian model, it is evident that policy tools, when applied effectively, can have a positive impact on birth rates. Yet family policy measures alone have not been able to reverse the post-2019 decline. For financial incentives to work, the key is to provide long-term stability. Early in married life, support for rental housing can create security, while as families grow, ownership of larger homes offers a deeper sense of permanence. At the same time, it is important not to fall into economic reductionism.
What's needed is a Christian integrative perspective, one that affirms the sanctity of life, protects marriage, respects subsidiarity, and upholds the dignity of both home and work.
Such a perspective does not reject the importance of political priorities, rather it calls for a comprehensive approach to every key issue, recognizing that meaningful renewal depends on cooperation among government, the church, local municipalities, Christian civil organizations, the media, and the business sector. Not only must family policy be advanced, but the broader social policy in which the family is placed at the center. As one formulation puts it, family policy should become the starting point and driving force of all social policy. Among the responsibilities of the state is to assist families, especially dysfunctional ones, using the tools available to promote the common good. Large policy structures must be complemented by additional community efforts. This can include incentives in the economic sphere, such as encouraging employers to create family-friendly workplaces and to support flexible work arrangements for mothers through tax benefits.
Communication campaigns, whether ecclesial, civil or state-led, must meet 21st century professional standards in content and audiovisual quality. A major priority is to raise awareness of the cultural factors that shape decisions about family formation.
Communication and social dialogue plays an especially important role in highlighting the value of choosing a spouse, entering marriage, and welcoming children. Lawmakers could encourage multinational companies to run family-friendly and marriage-affirming campaigns.
There are ideas that resonate with both Christians and non-Christians, bridging gaps in public communication. Values such as trust, fidelity, honesty, intimacy, and love, as well as human virtues like prudence, justice, courage, and temperance.
Politics is art of the possible, but for Christians, the ultimate horizon is salvation.
A Christian integrative perspective holds all secondary, immanent goals, the desire for children, pursuit for stability, the need for well-being, together, and orders them towards a transcendent primary goal. If we can recover this vision, then our work for families becomes more than strategy. It becomes a path that leads us step by step closer to our true destination.